You have probably heard Neville and others say that imagination creates reality, or that you just need to know it is done. But a lot of people struggle to understand what that actually means. It can be frustrating when you are trying to apply these concepts, but everything in front of you seems to show the exact opposite of what you want. To really understand how this works, there are two separate parts you need to see. Once you connect them, the whole concept becomes much easier to grasp. When you close your eyes and visualize a specific scene, it's easy to think you're just daydreaming or escaping reality. But that's not actually what's happening. Your imagination can affect your body just as powerfully as something happening in the physical world. Think about what happens when you have a nightmare. You wake up with your heart racing, maybe even sweating. Even though you were safe in bed the whole time, your body still responded to what you experienced in your mind. Or imagine someone hands you a bright yellow lemon, asks you to close your eyes, and take a big bite. Even if you're only imagining it, your mouth may instantly start to water, and your jaw might tense from the sourness. Your body doesn't respond only to physical experiences. It also responds to vividly imagined ones. So the difference between what you imagine and what you see with your eyes isn't that one is real and the other isn't. The difference is simply where each one exists. The outer world is the 3D reality, and your imagination is the 4D reality. The 4D is just as real as the physical world. In fact, everything you see around you right now existed in the imagination of a person before it became a physical object. You use your physical body to move through the 3D, but your mind is what moves you through the 4D. Your imagination is simply the vehicle you use to travel through different realities. This is what Neville Goddard meant when he talked about selecting a state. When you spend time in your imagination and use your inner senses to experience your desire as real, you generate a feeling, and that feeling is what impresses the subconscious mind. You're essentially telling your subconscious, "This is the reality I choose." So when people say, "No, it is done," they mean your desire already exists in the 4D. It is already real there. Your job is not to force it into existence, but to remain faithful to that inner reality until it reflects in your outer 3D world. The second concept is about the connection between your inner state and your outer world. Most people believe something has to happen first before they can feel a certain way. For example, you wait for a text message before allowing yourself to feel happy, secure, or relaxed. But what if it actually works the other way around? What if your inner state is what influences the outer condition? Think about it this way. You can choose to feel happy, secure, and relaxed right now, even if your phone is completely silent. And when you consistently dwell in that state, your outer reality begins to reflect it. The text message, or maybe something even better, shows up as a natural match to the state you've been occupying. You don't have to wait for something good to happen before you feel good. You can feel good first. And when you do, the outer world begins to reorganize around that inner shift. A simple way to understand this is by noticing what happens in your body when you feel anxious or stressed. Your breathing becomes shallow, your heart rate rises, and your muscles tighten. A mental state creates a physical response. Now try the opposite. Take a moment and imagine what it feels like to be completely relaxed. Then embody that feeling right now. Take slow, deep breaths for a few minutes. Relax your shoulders. Soften your body. You will notice that within a short time, your heart rate slows down and the feeling of anxiety starts to fade. By intentionally adopting the posture and breathing of a relaxed person, you shift your emotional state. Your body influences your mood, just as your mood influences your body. This is exactly how manifesting works at a deeper level. When you put these two ideas together, manifesting starts to feel less like wishing and more like choosing. When you imagine your desire, You're choosing the version of reality you want to experience. And when you remain in that inner state and use your senses to feel it as real, you step into the feeling of already having what you desire. You begin to think, feel, and respond from the version of you who already has it. That's how I learned to understand these concepts, and it made manifesting feel much more grounded. You don't need to look to the outer world for permission to feel that your desire is already yours. Claim it in your imagination first, feel the reality of it, and let the outer world catch up. I intend this video was helpful. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.